All right, so are we live?
It looks like.
Looks like we're live.
It looks like we are
Yeah, we're
live.
live. Thank you everybody that's joining us today. This is a very, very impromptu uh, Tourbillon 1 update we did. You might notice as well that we improved some of our visual quality here. Yeah, we've been we've been working this last week. First of all, at wrapping up everything we had from Superseed. It was really amazing last week, and then been working furiously at the computer. And this is what it's been looking like for most of the week. Yeah.
Our friends are the best example of how that all goes. Thanks to Marcus, our
Yeah.
computer wits, that's helping set up everything. But we have now new camera positions up there, not shitty laptop
Hmm.
camera. So I'm sorry if I not always look into that right camera. We need to get used to it as the two guys here.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got new camera set up. We've got a few other cameras set up on the side, other lighting, and we're ready to dive into some of our Tourbillon 1 updates. Yeah, as most of you know, I've communicated with quite a few people. There's been some emails coming back and forth, people asking about when's my Tourbillon going to arrive. We've already delivered a lot of Tourbillons, and we've had some issues with manufacturing, getting time on machines, and we are
There was
now.
also some corona in
There's
between.
also yeah, there's also yeah, there's a
Wasn't
little
there
bit
that
of
virus
pandemic in
or
between. Yeah,
something? I
yeah,
guess there's a new
yeah,
one now.
yeah.
Yeah, and get vaccinated. I can only recommend that because otherwise we probably have that whole issue longer. I know there's a lot of fear, but sometimes perhaps I think from technical point of view, I would say it's a good technology. You can risk it. And if not, it's also okay. But we can't change the world here. But overall, it poses some problems in supply chain, which we have been facing not only in the past, but also on the other hand, because of Corona, it was one of the reasons why we stepped up the engineering game significantly. The biggest issue we see today is that suppliers, our strategy is to work with suppliers around this area. During Corona, obviously, they have reduced a lot of workforce, and this means also that everybody is getting back into the hectic mode when things are going good. And this means that you're looking at delays, and we are pushing wherever we can. And in between, the machine was broken down. We communicated about that, and so we are nearing our begin of assembly now. And we would like to show you where we are in order to make everybody happy, and not as happy as we could be, because if the watch would be there already, you're always more
Yeah,
happy.
for sure.
But at least, as everybody knows, we are always transparent with the ongoing things, and want to let people know where we are on the parts, and that assembly starts soon, and we are confident that we are catching up on some lost time here. So now I need to change some stuff here, some buttons. I'm now in the Blackmagic
Yes.
switchboard.
There we go.
Let's first go. Let's do it like that. Okay, we do it like that, and we do it like that. So
There we are.
there we are.
Maybe put us over in the top right corner.
Yeah, put us over. Yeah,
Yeah, get us
technology.
there we are.
Yeah. As you can see, these are some of the main components lined up in that little tray here. I'm not allowed to touch stuff because obviously these are parts which will go into assembly. You can see the color is not yet super golden, but that is obviously gold. It's from the lighting.
It's from the lighting and the camera
I can
setup.
probably,
Yeah.
I can probably, if I flip that a little bit, and then
Yeah, you start to see the.
so you see the finish. This stuff is finished. That's the main plate. Then we have all the titanium parts ready. Probably I'm zooming in a little bit.
Yeah, take it in a little bit.
Taking in
Over there to the right.
a little bit. So let's go and look at these guys here. Yes, you see the diamond cut angles are there, the brushing is there, the PVD is there, or the plating, depending on what it actually is. And that's a little bit dark on the light. We can make it brighter here. Yeah,
bring it
so
up.
that's the blue we want to see. And so we are really having some good stuff here. Gold and the NAC, which is called gray. So let's go down a little bit here. I'm amazed by our camera. So these are the cage parts. We can also see the silicone part from
Yeah. But the ones on the far left, Andy, are the ones that have been
these are
causing
the ones. These were the ones which the plates and this one, because that's the stuff which we make on on the mill, obviously, and it's titanium parts, for example. We have improved the process a lot from the last production run to make it more easy to. I mean, in the first production run early this year or last year, we lost actually a full batch because the raw material we choose was too flimsy, and then you get potato chips, and you don't want to have tourbillon and potato chips mixed together because
then you're pressing jewels right through everything.
that doesn't do good for the run rate. But you see, these are finished and ready to assemble. All the cage parts, including the bearing, including the escapement wheel. Here you can see that in silicon. Yeah, we are getting really good pictures now. Huh? So already assembled with the wheels, and so I don't see anything which can stop us from getting into higher gear. And here is this is
Zoom out there a little bit.
That's one of the modifications we also made. Generally, we always make modifications. There's an ongoing process of modifying things to make it more easy to produce, to exclude some possibilities, any issues we could imagine in future. The good thing is, this watch, by the way, why not looking at it?
This one too.
We have a new shot here. Yeah. So did you see where I am?
Yeah, bring it
That's
up a little
my
bit.
wrist.
Go up.
Bring it up.
A bit more. We don't have autofocus on this lens.
Here we go. Huh?
Yeah.
That was the one from the first production run, and they are pretty much all doing quite well. We have one guy in America who had a problem, still waiting for a repair. And we couldn't find the problem, so we will exchange the whole thing. Probably he's watching, I don't know. But I'll give him a message on that so that he doesn't wonder why we haven't sent back the watch. But we had a stop on the cage. We don't know why. It could be some micro stuff.
That's a mechanical
world. Welcome in the microns.
Yeah.
And so here these are the. I love that camera. It's so good, isn't it? So that's the open barrel, already PVD coated. This was one of the things which caused some trouble last time. This part just came in. I will say something about that afterwards. So, and besides that, we have not just some, I mean, we have a little bit more than some. So when you look at that, that's a very nice tray here. I love these high resolution pictures. Oh, yeah. This is actually the part of the cage which holds the bearing.
Yeah.
So when you look at it from the back, as you can see it here, that is pretty much this one. So these are the screws, and this is the spring, actually the lock spring.
You might just want to move the camera over. We're just blocking that there in the live stream.
Okay. Okay, I can just do that here.
Yeah. Just pull that over. Sorry, we're learning by doing here. It's
so a couple of wheels you have seen, and that's the other parts here. So we are getting somewhere, and we intend to start assembling
next week,
end of next week, beginning of the following week.
Yeah.
Just before Christmas, we wanted to ship before Christmas, but there are a lot of watches we need to go to COSC, which COSC means it needs 15 days after we have regulated the stuff, and that's something we cannot accelerate, and I don't think that they work over Christmas. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's hard to say, but going back to what we talked about before is having 2 production batches.
And cases, of course. I mean, all the other
Yeah.
structural parts
Yes.
are also there. So we have pretty much nearly everything ready for continuous assembly, and that will then continue until April, May, until everything's shipped.
Yeah, around that time.
So that's our
absolute
plan.
latest, yeah. And we have the 2 series that we have done. This is we did the series 1, which have all delivered. We're now in series 2, and within series 2 we have 6 batches, production batches. So basically that's 1 to 2 batches a month until we deliver them all. So everybody who has received an order confirmation, the timelines on the confirmation for the later deliveries are still pretty consistent. As far as the earlier ones, we were hoping to have those out already, but as Andy just mentioned, we'll start assembling end of next week, beginning of the next, and then any of the non-cost ones that are in that batch will go out right away, and the cost ones will go into cost. We'll wait 15 days for them to come back, do the assembly, and then get them out the door.
So what else to say? We don't want to make a long thing, you know. I mean, people don't should expect us to work and not just be all the time in front of the camera. I mean, we can do that. I like it, to be honest. I would wish that we have some more yet interaction capabilities and people could jump into, but that's the next stage. We need to look at it. But I wanted to talk about the 3 parts which are kind of still in process. The main reason why we did not start yet final assembly. So I'm switching back into that slide, and let me flip some slides through that you get an idea of where we are. So that you just saw that was just a picture I did before, so obviously it's real. It's not a Photoshop makeup. Recap production, we talked about that already. So what are these 3 parts which we are looking at? That's the gear train bridge. It looks similar like the base plate. In fact, it's just holding the other stuff into place. And this one is decoration finished. Now it is currently in gold plating process because we need to gold plate underneath. That's a process we need in order to make the PVD stick at the end of the day and do the rest of the plating. So this means the machining is done, the cutting is done, the brushing is done. It's just going to the PVD machine and then make it blue or whatever color we want. Same for the hands mechanism bridge. It's a small one actually, which you see is slightly from the front, but when you don't look closely you don't see that. This is probably the one which is the small one. It don't need so much decoration because it's not so big. But that's what we are currently doing. Then it's going into gold plating and also PVD, so that pretty much will happen also next week. And and then just this little guy here.
Yeah, just before we started.
Steven brought it in and put it on my tray and said, yeah, you can delete one process step now. Because it was in heat treatment. So that's a steel material. In order to make it bend, you need to heat treat it. It gets the flexibility. Do I need to shift our faces to the bottom? Okay. But they see that.
Yeah, you can see it a little bit there.
I'm in the wrong. Sorry.
There we are.
Yeah, confusing stuff here.
Yes, technology.
So here.
There we go.
Now we can. There we go.
Yes.
So calendar week. This is called CW. Do you have that?
Yeah, calendar week. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Okay, not KW. That's a little bit Germanized.
Yeah. Calendar
but
with
49 means next week.
Yeah.
And we are close to Christmas. Yeah. And I hope we can put the first watches together, and probably some non-COSC people already from Switzerland come here and pick them up before. But the COSC ones need to go through COSC certification, and I think we can get over that little hiccup. So that's where we are. We are finishing line, of course. In order to ship faster, we have broken down production into several stages. So we are reproducing constantly the more expensive parts and then constantly Otherwise, we would have to wait so long to make all the bridges finish and then do the plating. That doesn't make sense. So we were breaking down into smaller lots so that we can ship faster to the plating company. Of course, it costs more money, but at the end of the day, customers should be happy, and we also want to get the watches out. We are not here to keep the watches.
Yeah.
We want to have them on people's wrists. Yeah, and so what else to say? Yeah, meanwhile, I have learned one thing in the watch industry. There's a lot of stuff going on. Sometimes people really believe that people don't say the truth. But I have to say, I think we say the truth, and everybody can come here and can have his own view on what we do and can look into our drawers and have a look what's in there, and then you will see this drawer, that's actually the storage for K2 and KT parts, which you can see on top. And this drawer is full of parts waiting in boxes to be assembled, prepared, everything quite good. I mean, there's always a slight risk at the end that there's some issue from somewhere, but we only, at the end of the day, we can only find that out in final assembly. But I pray.
But we're pretty much there.
Yeah, we are doing good quality control, and I think our quality control mechanisms, and it's not the first time. I mean, it's the second run now, and we have a much better understanding. It's a parts war, I call it. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 101 parts, and then all the different processes, all the different steps, all the plating, everything that needs to be done. It is, it's pretty remarkable when I see Sylvan and the rest of the team working on it, and exactly how they're managing all that, and they're getting it all done.
And they have overview. I mean, some people do the great ERP exercise and whatever. I'm a software guy, and I anyhow have my problem with that. Because when they start booking all things all the time with all these hundreds of processes, you never get a watch out. So more paper is created than watchmaking. So that's what we don't want. We have a very simple system. It's easy to view, easy to pack, easy to count, and that's, in my opinion, still the best way of running such a complex multi-parts component exercise at high speed. When you have a lot of people and a lot of people involved and enough overhead to spend, then you can do the other stuff. But we need to be very flexible, and this requires full focus of the people. And I'm always, again, super fascinated how well they have it under control. It's not easy. I mean, it's really challenging work to keep track and then deliver everything in quality and in precision. And so, yeah, we can be proud of them.
So I think that's it for this little live show. Brett, thanks for the comment in here. We're glad that you joined in, and everybody else that was able. I mean, we didn't have this plan. We didn't announce it anywhere, but I'll be sending out an email later on linking back to this to anybody.
I think we will do that next week again. Yeah. So we are getting much more sophisticated with our exercise here, as our gentlemen's actually know that. They are laughing their ass off at the end of the day. But I think we have decided to beef up our streaming exercise in order to do that more often and do it right out of the gate. And when people want to check in, then they can check in. And if people have a specific question, they want to see something specific, they can also request us to do that.
Yeah, it's all right there.
I'm happy. We were just talking about one of our partners in Hong Kong, Lavish Loft, actually. They opened a nice store in Peninsula. Missing that place, by the way.
It looks unbelievable.
The best high tea, best scones, best clotted cream in Hong Kong. Haven't been there now for 3 years. It's really incredible. And they have opened this little store in the basement where we and Formex and some other companies are. And they said, they want to do something for their clients, and if we can send some parts. And I said, does that really make sense? Why don't we make such a high-res thing in future? And if someone has a group of people, or if someone wants to have a private treatment with high resolution and Wes and Stanley, then with Muppet Show guys. then we can do that because we have the equipment now. And yeah, that's pretty much.
So that's pretty much it. So we'll be back again sooner than we probably think. And of course, this will be on YouTube, and you can watch it a little bit later on.
And it's also a test. It's a test to figure out how good the quality this time is, because this time we are hardwired. So we have a cable. Yeah. I'm the wireless guy actually, except my mouse. I still have a mouse with a cable. And but now we have a real network cable, and we have experimented with the software, and it looks good, I think.
Yeah.
Except that the only problem is that my hair, the camera looks on my missing hair.
It's getting a little bit lighter.
Yeah. Is this
lighter
because
color
is this because of these missing parts?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Last shot on the wrist with me, or wait. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. It's a good one. Yeah.
And you didn't clean it today, by the way. So
I put some more fingerprint on.
Yeah.
So now you can have that with a real fingerprint.
Yeah. There we go. Excellent.
Okay.
Okay.
Where is our? There we are. See you soon.
Yep. See you soon. Thanks a lot for joining, and let us know how the quality was this time, and we hope to see you next week.